5.
It is the 41st millennium. For more than a
Hey.
hundred centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of a million worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. Yet even in his deathless state, the Emperor continues his eternal vigilance. Mighty battle fleets cross the demon-infested miasma of the warp, the only route between distant stars, their way lit by the Astronomicon, a psychic manifestation of the Emperor's will. Vast armies give battle in his name on uncounted worlds. Greatest among his soldiers are the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines, bioengineered super warriors. Their comrades in arms are Legion, the Imperial Guard and countless planetary defense forces, the ever-vigilant Inquisition, and the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus, to name only a few. But for all their multitudes, they are barely enough to hold off the ever-present threat from aliens, heretics, mutants, and worse. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned.
120.
Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. There is no peace among the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsty gods.
Hello and welcome to Fulgore Ironfist 40K Funhouse. This is our first episode. I am joined by one of the many co-hosts, Jings.
Whoop whoop. MCL. Hello.
Hello. Well, Jings,
How you doing?
you want to get into what the fuck actually Warhammer 40K is?
So you want to start warhammering?
Yes, let's start. It's Warhammer time. Ah! Okay,
Yeah.
okay, this is the thing. Okay, you know, like the whole Warhammer thing started in 1982 with a tabletop game called Warhammer Fantasy Battle, where it takes place in a medieval fantasy setting, and a lot of the writing is based off of the writings of J.R.R. Tolkien for the world building and shit, and Michael E. Moorcock, the author of Oh, it comes my boy name. I fucking feel really, really sorry for the guy's last name, too. You know what I'm saying? He must have been
Oh yeah, because
bullied mercilessly when he was a kid. But, you know, like the Alex series is really good, too. Check it out. It's basically the precursor to The Witcher.
yeah, because the last name sounds like a penis.
Yeah. Okay, so,
Yeah.
the guy, like one of the guys that worked on the models, he created Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader, where okay, he took a whole thing where like he carried stuff from the fantasy aspect, except the Skaven, which are like humanoid rat creatures for some reason. You know, like you get dwarves, elves, orcs. You know, like the fucking like chaos god, Lovecraftian abominations and shit. Then from from the Chaos Knights, that's where the Space Marines came from, basically. On both sides, like like the loyalists and the traitors, basically. And so they created Rogue Trader, which was a more satirical and goofier look at thing, where they had characters like they had an Inquisitor named Obi-Wan Sherlock Cousteau. Okay, and the whole thing with the Space Marines, like they got recruited from fucking the Underhive of Cities. Like go through the gene procedures, which say like jam in like an extra heart, extra set of lungs, basically. Uh, like a bunch of genetic augmentations, like spitting acid. Um, like say if like an enemy's fallen and stuff, a space marine eats something and stuff. Well, they decided to so the original space marines were castrated. They just like cut off their balls and shit. Like from the lore, basically aspect. So they went. So they had like 2 editions of Rogue Trader. Then like by the 3rd edition is what's the 40k like that came to be basically where like they made it they created a new genre which is called like writing which is called grimdark where grimdark is like oh shit's really dark but like there's the smallest amount of hope everything can be blown to hell and shit creek but there's that tiny little bit of hope like against the insurmountable odds whether that um try you know like the hope like like the concept of the tiniest bit of hope prevails or or fails is up to the work of like the authors. So okay, then after that, like say okay, the official like novels came in, like which I don't screw around with, like the novel, like the tabletop or anything like that. Like people can call me a fake fan, but that's just way too expensive and fucking nerdy for me. Like do you think I want to build a fucking army of little plastic men that are fucking, like that I could just basically, take out a mortgage on a house on how expensive this shit is, or do you think, hey, yeah, books, I'll buy one once in a while, or browse the pirate sites and see if there's, like a collection of the novels. Because, like the people that are, invest all the money in it are basically IT guys in their mid 30s with a whole shitload of disposable income on that level. So, not having all that disposable income, being a poor fuck, I like buying the books. And and the in the early 40s, the backdrop story, the big event was called the Badab War, which has been basically been thrown into obscurity, where there's like 3 editions with that as the main backdrop, which I don't know anything about really. I haven't read on it. But it was this big war and stuff. I think it had something about like uh, governor avoiding taxes, basically. Oh, cool. So okay, and the timeline is basically this is what six from the lore aspect. You know, like it starts off 60 million years ago with the Necron Tier. The Necron Tier are basically the first race in the galaxy. They're basically born with really, really terminal cancer. And this cancer, basically, they have like really short, painful lives, like not past the age of 30. So these mystical magic, highly psychic beings called the Great Old One. They're basically like these like really chill, like kind of like frogs composed of just this pure energy. So they're sitting, creating forms of life, seeding the galaxy with all kinds of life. Like that's basically that's where the dinosaurs came from. You know, like there are at least forms of life on like all the planets. It's like the Necrontyrs go to them and they're like, hey, could you help us with our ailments, our horrible cancer? Well, they did the nice, polite thing of giving you a whole nice handshake and being like, oh, hi. Oh, we didn't create you. Please, go fuck yourselves. So, after they got told to go fuck themselves, after that, they start worshiping these parasites that are forms of energy around the star. And they feed off the star energy. So they start talking to them and communicating with these star parasites. They said, build us bodies. So we can become fully sentient. And after we become fully sentient, we can grant you new bodies and help you conquer the Great Old One. So they basically build on these new bodies, and one of them comes forward called the Deceiver. Well, the Deceiver is like, okay, you want this? We'll give you new bodies. We'll cure you of this cancer, and you will be basically unstoppable. So they basically fucking get these new robot bodies undergo biotransference, which one of the like Necron Farseers, which is a psychic that can see into the future, says, "Hey, we're gonna get fucked out of this. We're lose something big from this." And when so the whole thing after they crafted the whole bodies, after they shoved through the biotransference, they basically lose their souls. And the Catan, the star parasites that they were communicating with like pull the mask off and veil it. So the first step, they wage war. They go into the war basically, where like the Chaos Gods were established, right? They're chilling there, right? So the Necrons just go into the war, just start fucking handing, smashing them, kill an old one or two. They come back, revel in their victory. And the great old ones are sitting around like, hey, guys, we got fucked up. They killed two of us. one or two of us. Hey, let's create these other races. So they create the Eldar, the space elves, and so the Eldars just and are basically down the line they do some fuck shit. I'll get to that. Okay, then they create the Orcs, which are the proto-orcs, which are bigger, more intelligent, use use power armor, and have psychic abilities. So the Necron, with the Catan, they decide to invade. They fight, they lose, so they basically get their asses kicked. So they get pissed off, rebel against their gods, destroy their gods, go back, get into this huge war. Eldar fucking smoke them, they go to sleep for about 65, 65 million years after that. And along goes through, humanity progresses like normal. Like the world's ended in 8000 BC, Mesopotamia. The god emperor of mankind is born after, there's two different versions. There's psychers giving all their energy to form one being, or they committed ritualistic suicide and he was born as a child rather than just fucking showing up. So after that, flash forward into the year 20,000, which is a golden age of technology. The golden age of technology was the pinnacle of technology, where the technology is, he is basically like amazing, hyper advances, AI and stuff. AI, all kinds of fucking probably flying cars, all interstellar space travel, all kinds of fucking crazy shit. Well, about 3 to 5,000 years, everything is going good. Then the dark age of technology, where the men of Iron, bunch of rogue AI, decide to rebel against humanity. There's this huge, like 7 to, 2 to 5,000 year war going. So we beat the AI. Then after that, well, during the war against the machines, during the Men of Iron phase, the Eldar are getting bored with their pinnacle of, hype and success, artistry, culture. They decide to get really debaucherous and shit to basically, with their debauchery, they fucking can basically are fucking raping, being possibly cannibalizing each other. They birth a chaos god named Slunest. Then the Age of Strife happens where humans with psychic ability get born, and the Eldar are basically fucking been divided into 3 different factions. There's your craft world Eldar, which travel around on these living spacecraft called craft world. which are made out of this material called wraith foam, which is both, you know, is basically biomechanical material. Then there's Drukhari or Dark Eldar, which they are online with, you know, like the chaos. They follow the ways of, you know, like the chaos gets a mess, which was born, where they believe in raping, torturing, getting power off of suffering. You know, like there's, you know, like Dark Eldar, fucking space pirates and shit. Then enslaved humans and people of other races as slaves. They usually rape, or they go on a rape murder fest throughout the whole thing to get, you know, like maintain their immortality. And then there's the Exodite world, which are basically an offshoot of the Craft World Eldar that they travel around the galaxy. So during that age, the Emperor of Mankind rises. Everything's basically fucked. Earth is now called Terra. And Terra is a nuclear bombed out shithole. That's a vast wild wasteland. So he wages a 700-year bloody war to regain and conquer the planet from these techno-organic barbarian tribes. And there were like cannibals, you know, like had these weird creepy churches popping out, yeah, that spawned all these strange different religions. So he's just fucking God Emperor just fucking walking around slaughtering, yeah, all these techno organic barbarian tribes with his the first steps in, you know, like his, you know, like grand genetic or manipulation, the custodians, which are 10-foot tall guys, which are the peak of humanity. You know, like there's no, you know, like it's not like the fucking Space Marine shit where they jam, you know, like a bunch of fucking extra organs and shit into them. No, they're regular human, but they can move at an unfathomable speed. And they're nearly godlike. And his Thunder Warriors, which were the precursor to the Space Marines, which had cancer, which were very cancer-ridden, and they had a really mentally unstable. They're very, 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 mentally unstable, prone to violent outbursts. You know, like kill. You know, like might accidentally kill, you know, like a human guard member and shit like that.
Like Mexicans, man.
Yeah. So the God Emperor decides to betray the Thunder Warriors at the battle with Legion, his new genetic manipulation project, the Legionary Astartes, or the Space Marines. So the Space Marines and the Custodians team up together and slaughter a good majority of them, and they end up escaping. And most of them are horribly depressed and end up committing suicide because of the trauma from them getting all killed off.
Yeah.
So after the Emperor of Mankind takes hold, first thing he does is say no religion divides people. And he was keeping it under wraps because he'd rather have humanity be totally ignorant to the forces of chaos. He didn't tell people that they were, like all, like the religions were feeding, like these four different fucking assholes fucking shit up in the galaxy for everyone.
Yeah.
So after that, he begins a great crusade to travel out to the galaxy. Yeah, during the Great Crusade, there's a scattering of the Primarchs, which were the Emperor's genetically manipulated sons that could have gone two ways. Like the forces of chaos could have scattered him, or Erda, basically the mother of the Astartes, didn't like how the Primarchs basically how he viewed them as fucking tools, and he's like, "Oh, fuck this, I'll just get him around."
Right.
So the Emperor goes out, finds them, reunites them with their chapters, except except there's like a three in packages with Logar, Erebus, and Porphyron, where Logar is the Primarch of the World Eaters. Erebus is a fucking sociopath that likes to be like all sneaky and fuck shit up. And then there's Porphyron, the person that he basically indoctrinated and shaped, like Logar's belief. So those two assholes become Space Marines, and we'll get to them a little bit down the line. So all the Primarchs and their legions are united.
Yeah.
So after they get this, the most trained one and the one by the Emperor and the one that's the least known about is Horus, because he was the first found.
Right.
There's not really a backstory with his life and he was the Emperor's favorite son. So during the Great Crusade, he granted Horus War Master. So they're committing genocide. They do this thing called genocides, basically, where they're running around, just exterminating all these aliens. Or there's these aliens that are compliant. They basically get enslaved, get put to work in mines and factories and shit. So, okay, there's this planet called Murder. It's a planet set up by the Interacts, where there's these things called the Pterodactyls, which are just fucking creepy gigantic spider shit,
Yeah.
They like to eat flesh. So the Emperor's children, the third legion, the Emperor's children, get passed on by, say, hear the trust beacon touch down. They go in there, get attacked by the Mega Arachnid, ageless alien race. Basically, nearly wipe out these fucking Mega Arachnids, and then there's this alien lizard people race. Where Fulgore, the Primarch of the Emperor Children, was doing some handshake deals, trying to win on deal. Okay, you're slaves. Well,
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Well, they decide to go to war with the Emperor's children. They just fucking kill them. Well, one of the one of the warriors, basically the leader of the fucking alien they fucking slaughter, has this thing called the Lair Blade, which is chaos corrupted. And it starts eating away from him. So, okay. And he found out that there was a warning around this planet by this offshoot humanity, a pirate called the Interact. So the Interacts, basically, so Horus is kind of trying to wheel and deal with them, right?
Right.
Well, they're with the word bearers, with our favorite three assholes, Logar, Erebus, and Corfira. So Erebus decides to steal one of the chaos corrupted blade. War breaks out, and Rex is basically extinct. During the battle, Horus gets stabbed with, like another version of the Lair Blade. So Erebus is basically like, hey, we gotta take him to this guy. Well, these people heal him up, these shaman, this tribe. Well, the same tribe they took him to turned out to worship the Chaos God. So he's getting all these fucked up visions of stuff about how the God Emperor, how the Emperor of Mankind will be fucking stabbed and shit instead of upon the Golden Throne. Being, being a fucking total inconsistence of life and death. Well, that's the future due to Horus. So he decides to say, right, after he comes up, he decides to betray the Emperor. And then, so him, Erebus, and Logar, are basically the first traders. Then there's this thing called the Trial of Nicaea that bans the use of sidekicks and Space Marine chapters.
Right.
So with the Space Marine chapters, there's someone kept them under wraps, like that. They're psychics, like Magnus Red. He was going out there researching, like sorcery and shit like that. Well, all the Space Marines are doing their thing. Then there's a Isban 3 drop site massacre.
Right.
Where it cuts down where the Iron Warriors, Emperor's children, Lunar Sons of Horus, all ambush the Iron Hand, Imperial Fist, and Salamanders, and nearly decimate them, and First Man's Primarch of the Iron Hand gets decapitated by Fulgore, which was his best friend. Then the Primarch, that severely wounded Vulcan, gets captured by the Night Lord, tortured, ejected, gets thrown out of an airlock on the planet of McCrae. It killed a bunch of people and shit. The Ultramarines are like, hey buddy, settle down! You gotta chill, dude! Vulcan's just like killing people, oh man. It gets talked down, all horribly burned, like flesh is falling off and shit. It was due burn up through the atmosphere, and he was horribly tortured, and he's a little bit crazy. So he basically comes to his senses, regenerate. Then, McCrae, they lose contact with Earth. So the formation of Primarch of the Ultramarines, he doesn't want to lead an empire or anything like that. He creates a second Imperium called the Imperium Secunda, which are which are an alternate Imperium to keep the order in the McCraig sector. It's basically a tribunal between Lionel Johnson, the original Primarch, and a horrible Primarch at that, and Sanguinius. They have no idea what happened, right? So the Horse Heresy is raging on, and galaxies ripped in half. For about 6 years and 8 months, the traitors go to Earth. You know, like they're the nine loyalists. You know, like the loyalist legions are like out there. Some they can't get to Earth because there's a great rift in the galaxy. So they're all fighting and shit. Then
Today I'm breaking down
then the whole thing is the climax between Horse and the Emperor of Mankind on the Vengeful Spirit, where is this a big climax duel? One of the oldest perpetuals and the Emperor's oldest friends, Alanius Pius, gets killed. Emperor snaps and destroys Horus down to his soul, and he's non-existent. And the Golden Throne gets refitted to have him sit on a throne as a life support system. He lost his an arm, a leg, and one of his eyes. And on this life support system, he holds the fabric of reality together and acts as the world's biggest lighthouse, guiding the ships to warp travel, which is traveling to a hellscape in the middle of the galaxy, which is quite nice and pleasant and safe, and nothing ever goes wrong. Ever. There's 0% enter, 0% margin of error. And the Warpath simulation itself is basically like the traveling and stuff, and they have like really weird shit like sharks in there too. It's like, wow, this is like really hostile submarine travel. And within the warp is a pocket dimension called the Eye of Terror, where the Chaos God reside in. It's its own galaxy.
Right.
Where, like, say, a normal human, say, if a normal human were to either fall to one of the gods, go mad, or die if they do not have plot armor, basically. Basically, it's a Lovecraftian hellscape. And, okay, things are going normal. Then, after that, there's a second founding, where Booty Gilliman is like, hey, guys, no. no Space Marine chapter should have this much power, and in the standard amount in a Space Marine unit is 1,000 Marines broken up into different chapters and squads, basically. And then there's the successor chapters, basically, that all have 1,000 of them, where there's almost a civil war because this one guy was super angry and depressed and
Right.
mad during the events of the Great Scouring. Cole wanted to maintain his like numbers in the Space Marine Legion because he wanted revenge. So he finally comes to his senses. Then the successor chapters, which one of the most surprising and delightful, hilarious, and one of my favorite Space Marine chapters that's overly racist towards aliens, the Black Templars came out. Oh, and the whole thing is their numbers are just like so obscured. They could have 20,000 Marines into the chapter and stuff. And the whole thing is they found a loophole because they have like grand chaplains underneath different things which act as their own general. And there's usually like 3 at a time. And the reason they have such high numbers is because they mark them a bunch as initiates.
Right.
And because the whole thing is, see, like the leader of the Black Templars, Sigmundus, is like, God is real, and the whole Imperium is a staunch, really atheistic, like government government system that is like, okay, yeah, like we're working on science and progress, basically, technological progress to get a cutting edge. So, like Doran just looks at him, oh, you're on an eternal crusade. Go have fun and go spaz out. Hardcore, you know? That's the way it had to be. And these past 10,000 years, they're still at it crusading. Then, about 6,000 years after, like, the Great Scouring, like, the Trader Primarchs are doing their thing in the warp.
Right.
All those Primarchs are either lost or dead, basically. Well, the apostasy begins, where there's this guy named Goj Bandar, and this guy's a fucking asshole. So he's receiving visions. He grows delusional, and he claims he's the voice of the Emperor and takes total control of the soul system, which is our solar system. So he grows really oppressive and stuff, and the daughters of the Emperor come out of it, which is an all-female powered armor military.
Yeah.
Through the ecclesiarchy. Which,
You ever listen to Terrence McKenna like talk about science or whatever on like those 3-hour recordings?
yeah.
That's what this feels like. It's really dope. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, but go ahead.
so they're committing all these atrocities and shit, being like, he is the Emperor and shit. So the Empire is basically split in half, and they're like, So the custodians are like, whoa, ladies, hold on. The Emperor would like to talk to you. So they march him in. The Emperor is sitting there, like, psychically powerful and shit. Like, and nobody knows what this is. So all the women, come out with bleach white hair and just have the just this like little tiny like, oh, I'm fine, but they're super fucking pissed off. So High Priestess Danica marches on Ghost Van Dyer's ecclesiastical church and fucking decapitates him, ending the age of apostasy and the Sister's battle for him. And then and the publication, the Imperial Truth, the Latincius Divinicus, which is based off of the works of a religion that Fulgore the Aurelian was founded, that the Emperor was a god. Then currently in the 42nd millennia, shit has gotten really, really fucking bad. One of their main fortress world, the Imperium's main fortress world, Tadia, has fallen to the forces of chaos. What's a fortress world is this gigantic military complex.
Right.
Like whatever, like training, recruitment. They basically are based off the Canadian military is based off of how the U.S. and the U.K. used to do shit, old school.
Right.
Like say, like you have a large battalion like running up on you. You shoot up a couple fucking feet ahead of you with mortars to fucking soften the ground underneath their fucking feet. So it's easy picking. After they fall through the hole from the mortar shells, too. So, okay, after falls during Abaddon, the spoils Black Crusade, fucking universe is fucking, like, even galaxy worse off. There's a even bigger rift in it. And Primarchs are coming back, which is a mistake, basically, on their part, and then they basically ruined Space Marines with the Primaris Marines, lore-wise. Because I was getting all amped up, I'm like, when times are coming,
Right.
This will be interesting. And now they're making things more hopeful. Which bums me out, Okay, any question?
Not really. It's just a lot to take in, But, I'm sure you can recommend me some reading or videos or something, afterwards.
Okay, the thing about books, like find something that clicks with you,
Right.
Like with Yerk, it's an old, like the first 40K book, my jumping off point is Yerk, Pirates of Armageddon. It's this old guy fucking like holding a gun, just fucking screaming,
Right.
I'm like, I'm an old guy. I'm kind of grumpy. This resonates with me. Like it could be for different, like or say if alien race looks cool and shit, and you want to read about them. Go there, like basically start anywhere. But if you really want a definitive start, to the whole thing, it's a shorter read of Valdor, Birth of an Empire, basically.
Oh, okay.
Of the Imperium, which is a really good read. And then and after that is the Last Church. Because because Constantine Valdor is first custodian, which is first personal guard, where God, it sounds like they're fucking janitors,
Right.
And and then there was the Sisters of Silence also came out of that too, which are basically mute, whole, all female, soul, soulless, very inert to psychic ninja force comes out.
Right.
Right, yeah. It's a really cool book. And Last Church is the end of the Unification Wars. It's a really dialogue-heavy story, but it's a good read.
Yeah, I prefer cerebral shit like that a little more.
Yeah. And another one that's a pretty cool read that's a heresy book, which has a lot of interesting shit happen. Not that amount of action, is Mechanical.
Right.
Because it's the main split between the regular Mechanicum, which is going to become down the road the Deafness Mechanicus. Oh,
Yeah.
and the Dark Mechanicum. And also the Dark Mechanicum. You want to hear what their stick is? Let's shove a demon in a machine and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everyone. Well, James, thank you for being here, and well, everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good night. And, oh yeah, and special thanks to Beer Old Goods. Subscribe to his channel. He does these really cool readings. Hopefully, this video won't be copyright stricken. Well, everyone, have a good night. Ah. Oh shit! Oh shit! I meant to